This has been consistently proven by Lisbon, for instance, that you see that occupation now is reaching that peak, but the average prices are still growing. The hospitality companies are more aware that they can charge for quality.
Welcome to Vioneer CEO and Founder Interviews. Today we have the pleasure to be here with Luis Brites, the CEO of Clever Hospitality Analytics. Luis, how are you?
Hi Miguel, good morning. I'm fine.
Before going into your company there, I want to know a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm an economist from graduation, and I started working on the banking sector. After that, as an account manager, something that was quite common those days for you starting your career. It was interesting, but quickly I found that it wasn't enough for me. After that, I worked in the big companies like Sonai, like Santander, also and GE Financial Insurance, a company from General Electrics. And my career was always as a commercial director, public relations with customers, big accounts to manage. I received the challenge to move to a sector that I never dreamed of working in, hospitality. And so I was general manager of a group of hotels, okay? So the real operation, the real thing, managing 11 hotels. It was a brand new world for me, very interesting. It was very important for my entrance in the sector. And after that, I started to notice that software for this kind of companies was always an issue. Not that you don't have in the market providers and historical providers, even companies with 26 years working for the sector, but you need different things, different needs, and I assisted that people were daily on a struggle to get information. Not that you don't have the right operational tools like PMS, property management system, POS, point of sales, ERP, the enterprise resource planning, spa management, well, whatever, you name it. A lot of sources of applications to manage the daily operation, okay? That's provided with solid and consistent applications. But when you need to
streamline the process
between them to see the flow of data, the flow of information, when you need to mash up this information that comes from different sources, there has always been traditionally a great difficulty. And what's the escape for that? Excel files, Excel sheets, a lot of things that people struggle for 4 or 5 hours a day to have all that analyzed, combined in information that you can use to take decisions. So that was a gap that I assisted during years and years.
That's when Clever Hospitality Analytics was born?
Yes, 2 years ago.
How would you define Clever Analytics?
I'm the co-founder of the project, so it's all brand new. The name, the brand, the colors, everything, the mission. It all started with the mission. And Clever is integrated in a larger group of companies. It's Host Hotel Systems. Host Hotel Systems is nowadays the leader of providing operational application software and services to the hospitality sector. He has more than, almost half of the market in some places like Lisbon. In Lisbon, the penetration rate of Host is larger than 60%. So it's a leading company. And but even so, we felt the need to have something more. I think after the daily operational necessities are provided by those operational applications, you need more.
What's your unique value proposition there? What are you guys bringing new to the market?
Our mission is to make easy for the users to get information in a funny way. I say funny way because if you can combine different sources of information and analyze them in different dimensions, it's like a cube analysis. So you have the data, but you can see the data and analyze it from different perspectives, and that's totally impossible or very, very difficult to do in Excel files. So you need to have a previous work. That previous work is to get all the data from different sources, okay, so different shapes, different sources, different supporting platforms, okay, different databases, well, you name it. Then you combine all that and mash up all those data, and after this work you have standardized data, prepared data for the user in the different needs or different departments for them to use in a visual way. So we also, after you have the data, okay, then what's the next part? Next part is for you to have a user interface that is well, appealing. It's pretty enough, let us say like that. Nowadays image is very important. It always have been, but now it's very, very important. The fast these kind of tools also must be very fast, because today people don't have any resistance to frustration. Why is that? Because we have companies like Uber, we have companies like Amazon.
Time is becoming an important asset, right?
An important asset, and the resistance of people to wait for something, the levels of anxiety cannot grow. So things are now fast. When you take an app like Uber, for instance, things are very fast. You know, you choose the car, you know the name of the driver, you know how much time he's going to get to get near you. Okay, so all the anxiety of the process is already taken care of. Okay, so I think we think that this principle is now necessary to all industries, to all sectors, namely for software producers.
What are the biggest challenges that you've been facing in the hospitality industry that you work in?
It's an industry that in Portugal is very developed. We have very good professionals and groups, very professional here in Portugal. What have been the struggle of them that we have to impact in our services and solutions? The struggle has been traditionally to increase the rates that you can sell to the customers, to the guests of hotels and guest houses and all the modern hospitality trends that you have. Portugal was seen always like a low-cost country. Okay, even though you have
that's tending to change now.
It's finally from like 3 years, 4 years consistently. From now, things are changing a lot. So the average daily room rates are increasing for year after year. So this is quite positive. So this means that the companies, the hospitality companies, are not only getting more the right money for the right value that they give to the guests. Okay, traditionally very good service. Normally, of course, you can always find exceptions, but the normal for the country is always very good evaluations about service and quality. So the price was not the right one for the added value that the companies were bringing to the guests. And all the suppliers, like software suppliers like us, you are in a process, right? So you are in the flow. So if the price is not right for the industry, the price is not right also for the software provider. So everything must be balanced. So traditionally, it was always like if you said, well, we can only invest in the minimum software to run this operation, and that was logical from an entrepreneur in hospitality. That was logical.
So now companies have more money to buy that kind of software.
At the end of the day, that's the sentence. That's the correct.
One thing I wanted to go there is in terms of the Portuguese case. So you said that the prices have been increasing steadily.
Yes.
How do you see the growth of the market going forward over the next 5 years? Do you think you've already reached a peak in terms of pricing? I mean, is the quality already reaching to the price point, or are we still far ahead and there's still a lot of place to grow?
Well, my opinion and the recent studies that you can get about these subjects, I think that probably in terms of occupation, we have reached the peak, okay? But in terms of price and rate that you can apply to the guests, let us say like that, there's still a way to go. And this has been consistently proven by Lisbon, for instance, that you see that occupation now is reaching that peak. but the average prices are still growing, and they still have space to grow. I think that the hospitality companies are more aware that they can charge for quality, so they are in search of that quality. We can see, as a providers of the sector, we can see that. And if you have more quality, you can differentiate for other markets. Of course, a lot of initiatives, even from government. The Secretary of State is a very active person. There are a lot of initiatives and a lot of campaigns outgoing that puts Portugal on the map. You can't skip Portugal. It's normally, I think it's a very good marketing. Yeah. Portugal have won a lot of international tourism prizes, recognizing the quality of the destiny, the quality of the service. So there's a lot of positive impact in the tourism world that Portugal can still beneficiate and have more income through that. But in terms of occupancy, what the study says that Lisbon, for instance, we have reached a peak. But there's space to grow in terms of revenue, okay? And I think last year things are starting to get on that path. For instance, Porto, that started to this positive boom of the tourism started later. They are still growing a lot in terms of occupation and in terms of new projects of tourism, new hotels, new lodging capacity to the town. So I think that my opinion is that the business projects and the entrepreneurs of the sector are more and more worried and aware about quality and about making good decisions. And for you to make good decisions, that's one thing that you always need, and more in the future. You have to have good information, rigorous information, consistent,
to
make better and faster decisions, because the time to business it's getting faster and faster. If you have a good idea and you wait like 6 months to put that on practice, probably someone who is going to
it's going to be too late.
It's going to be too late. Someone is going to have that idea also. As you know, competition is very big and furious. That's the right word. And growing, furious and growing. So you have to be fast. You can't be fast as a company, as a businessman. You can't be fast without the right information, and even with the right predictive models. That's something that we are working a lot to have, with all the historic and knowledge that we have from the sector, as a software provider, of course, to have predictive models, naming, for instance, that I'm going to build an hotel in this place. I have already identified the opportunity, the building, how much money that I will have to invest changing that to the hotel that I want to do. So my invest amount is already calculated. But what's going to happen, as you asked very well, in 3, 4, 5 years, what's going to happen with the demand? Will my project be profitable? Am I making a disaster of my?
That's exactly where I want to go next. In terms of, there is this really fierce competition everywhere, like you said, and there are many properties popping up on Airbnb and Booking.
True.
How do you see this clash between the hotel business, traditional hotel and hostel kind of business, and this new trend going into this gig economy? How do you see this clash going over the next years?
Well, there is, even in the past 2 years, let us say, there was always some friction. Of course, it's not frictionless, the process. It's not seamless. It's a friction between the traditional hospitality, let us say like that, and the new ways of lodging people. Nowadays, things are getting along, let us say. There is competition. Traditional hoteliers, in a first reaction, they were not very happy with that. I think they are still not very happy with all this kind of different competition. But on a second reaction, they are increasing their quality and differentiation, meaning that if you go to rent a house of someone, I think it's a completely different offer, even if the destiny is the same from an hotel. And I think they are working on those differentiations, okay? Even so, for instance, like the greatest channel in the world, in terms of volume, Booking.com, for the rentals, they are now a very important channel. They are managing Airbnb. with the volumes of reservations that you get. And my opinion is that the hoteliers were more worried in recent past than now.
Are they also going into this?
And some of them are moving to that kind of
this
business,
new industry in a way.
And the opposite, they're companies with a lot of apartments. They professionalize. They have a very professional approach to running those apartments, and now they are building hotels. So I think there are 2 or 3 cases of big companies with a lot of like 200 apartments.
That grew big enough to turn into this new way of doing business.
Yeah. So they are building hotels. The hoteliers are building apartments to rental. I think things will have some level of fusion. I think we'll see in the future. It's not yet clear what's going to happen, but we will see in the future. Well, at the end of the day, Miguel, I think that quality always wins. Always wins. The right quality for the right price, and you find your different customers for that price, needs, expectations, and the concept of getting things personalized. I think it's one of the major things for the future for the companies. I can make such a personalized offer to you, Miguel, that you say, okay, this is my face, this is what I want, so I'm ready to pay the right price. Okay, I think that's the way things will done, and you have place for everyone. Okay, I don't believe in over tourism, for instance. I don't believe in that. I believe in preparing the cities and the companies to balance in the right way. We need them. As you know, tourism is one of the more dynamical sectors in this country and other countries also. We are still far away from the levels of tourism that other cities have, like Barcelona, like Paris. We are very far away from them. Spain still is the country that pushes more tourists to their country from a far distance from us. So I think, of course, they are a little bigger, of course, but I think we have still a very long and attractive way on hospitality to get more revenue and more tourists from all around the world, and even the inside Portuguese tourists that are always important.
It's really difficult to make predictions, but from your experience, how would you say what are going to be the biggest trends in the hospitality industry?
Well, I would say that you are seeing a lot of different things. For instance, if you go to China, you enter in a hotel, at least for the local Chinese people, you enter in a hotel and you have to have, they have already facial recognition. So you have one hotel in Japan that's totally the staff is robots. There is almost no human contact.
Everything is optimized to make things work.
Yes. So I think that you have different. It's difficult to predict, as you say. I think technology will have more and gradual, deeper impact in the process, in the operation. Okay, it's going to be very important, much more important than it is today. Some customers, some guests, some of them prefer the human contact, speaking with the person, but there are a lot of market that prefers not to have human contact. So they want to choose in their smartphone what they want to make their check-in, to choose what they want to drink, to eat, whatever, customize the lighting, the TV, well, you name it.
So that human-to-human interaction that we see traditionally in the hospitality industry, you seem to think that it's tending to disappear, right?
I wouldn't say disappear, but I would say you'll have it both. As I was telling a while ago, you will have different customers for different needs. There are still the traditional guest that probably wants to have human contact and human service, and I think you have to have the right balance between them, because the younger generations, well, they were almost born with a smartphone in their hand. So, and the world is run through the smartphone, and it's very fast. So I think all kind of businesses, including hospitality, will have to adapt to these changes that I don't believe they will get a pushback. I don't believe that. Things will go on this trend and faster. And like I was saying in the beginning, no anxiety. I think that especially younger generations, but the new generations, they don't deal well with anxiety. They have to have everything. It's on their palm of their hands, and everything is there for them to have no anxiety. And hospitality will have those things also. Things must happen as they are expecting to, and they are seeing on their smartphone.
Real time. We're more than 10 years into an upcycle. The last financial crisis was in 08. There are some signs of recession coming in, but not yet, right?
Not yet.
So I want to know, what's your take on how will the hospitality industry evolve if we have like a recession coming in real fast? How do you see it going?
Okay, hoping that won't happen. But as you said, some signs are already already on site. Well, tourism has been, even in our country, and probably especially in our country, very resistant to recessions. Of course, a big recession affects everyone. Of course, there is few money in the economy to investments. Of course, that affects everyone. But tourism is very resistant, and I think that the companies in Portugal, the entrepreneurs of hospitality in Portugal, they are preparing themselves to face that, meaning that they are making investments in quality. They are making investments in human talent, in human resources. Okay, they are professionalizing more their services, their departments. They are getting better decisions, so they are more aware of what they have to do. I think we have very good professionals in the sector. Really, they are more aware of what they have to do to make better and better decisions in a consistent way.
Do you think automation will become more important as a recession?
I think so. Will become more important. Some investments are being done on that. Things will be more efficient. It's difficult to predict all things, but they are moving very, very fast. And that's on that field that our clever hospitality analytics, we want to contribute to add value on that, because one of the things that you need to do that efficiently is information. So that's our mission, to make information easy from several sources and to give it in an easy and attractive way. User interfaces are always and getting more and more important. So you can't say anymore for a software provider, well, we have it all done, all the information there, very consistent, everything is 100% right. But if you have an ugly user interface, if it's not attractive, it's not appealing, if it don't have the appeal, if it's not fast enough, things won't work. So the challenge is on these both ways. You must be very attractive, you must be very fast, and you have to be the 100% rigorous information contained and to display to the users. So that's our challenge.
You're an entrepreneur yourself.
Yes.
Do you have a good piece of advice to share with young entrepreneurs?
Yes.
Where to start, right?
Where to start? You have to find the right mission. What do you really want to do? I think that's very, very important. And everything, in my opinion, comes from your mission, what you want to do with the company. Everything must flow through that, and that's what we have done with this company. After that, you need to attract the right resources. It's very important. Even though if it's a small team, it's our case, yet we are still a small team, but the right resources, motivate them, have the right to capture the right talent to your team. Then you have to develop the concept with a high level of quality. And after that, you have to build your case and create your concept, and then try it for real in the market, the concept. We have done that. We are already working with several groups in Portugal, but we started with one. It's already a big group, and we have needed to prove the concept on the real thing, on the real work environment of the people, of their departments, and to test the tool to see day by day if we were getting on the right direction. So only after that, only after people say that, okay, this is very important, it's very difficult for us to go back again to Excel files only. We need this. So when you reach that phase, we need this, you have proven your concept. After that, you need to still working on innovation and try to enlarge your database as soon as possible to occupy the market space. We don't have a big market. We are not a big country, right? So our market is limited. So the space for a lot of competitors is not that much. So you need to occupy the space. After your concept is proven, occupy the space quickly, as fast as you can. Build the team right to your needs. Don't enter in exaggerated costs. Normally madness has a high price at the end, so you need to be conservative, in my opinion, in the resources. Find the right investors. I'm fortunate to have found the right investors. They are also founders of the project, and then go to the market as strong as you can and try to make your concept very clear. Don't be satisfied with the first results. Always start thinking in the next generation. We are already working on the clever hospitality analytics second generation. We are already working on that. You must be very aware and informed about world trends. Even if you think that we are on a small market, they are not very attracted for. It's totally wrong. It's a global economy, really. So you must be aware of everything, and you must have a benchmark attitude always to see what's happening and to try to do something different and better for your customers. So we have done this until now. Of course, we have 2 years of market. We have a lot of things to prove, and but I think we are on a good way.
Luís, thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you, Miguel. My pleasure. Thank you very much.